Plaintiff Justin Ware says he was trying to help out a tenant, but she skipped out on the rent and left the house destroyed. Defendant Corrina Villanueva claims she left the house spotless and tried to pay the rent, but the plaintiff wouldn't accept it.
The testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Case number 5 on the docket, Ware versus Villanueva.
The plaintiff, Mr. Ware, you are suing the defendant, Ms. Villanueva, in the amount of $3,187 for unpaid rent and damages on a rented property.
That's correct.
What's your story?
Several years back, her witness is Tammy. Tammy and her husband were renting a 2-story condominium from me in Stockton, California.
Yes.
Ms. Cribble has some medical issues that makes it difficult for her to go up and down the stairs. At one point, while they were tenants of mine, I had another property open up, which is a single-story home. Ms. Cribble and her husband expressed an interest in switching their lease from the 2-story condo to the single-family home, which is only a single-story. I allowed them to do that. They pointed out to me when I approved that they actually had somebody they could refer me to rent the 2-story condo that they were renting from me.
And so we have
Ms. Villanueva.
All right, so she moves into your property.
That's correct, yes. We signed a 3-year lease in starting March 1st, 2016, a copy of which I have here.
Yes.
It expires on February 28th of 2019. She also paid a $2,000 deposit upon moving in, $1,500 security deposit, plus an additional $500 because she had a small dog. She lived there approximately 2.5 years before breaking the lease. The 2.5 years that she lived there, she was actually a model tenant.
How did she break the lease?
She vacated the property prior to the 3-year point.
Did you agree that she could leave the property?
I did say I would not charge her a penalty for vacating, yes, but I would hold her responsible for any lost rent.
So you're saying she owes rent through what date?
She lived there through October 31st, did not pay October's rent, and then the property was vacant for 10 days in November before the new tenant was able to move in.
Okay, so you're saying she's owed for October rent and the first 10 days in November where she had already left and you didn't yet have a new tenant.
That's correct.
And the condition that you were going to let her move and break the lease was that she wouldn't move until you found a new tenant.
So I do have here also where he asked me to be out by the 1st, and I was. And it's there in his text message as well.
By the 1st of what?
The 1st of November.
If you're saying she's going to be responsible for the time she vacates the property, that you don't have a new tenant, then you can't tell her to get out on November 1st when you don't have a new tenant until November 10th. That makes no sense.
I had a tenant who was interested in moving on November 1st. However, due to the damage left by Ms. Villanueva, she could not move in because of the repair work that needed to be done.
Well, that's a separate issue, but you can't charge her then for November when you're telling her she has to be out by November 1st. If you've got damage issues, that's separate from whenever she moved out. So as far as the rent is concerned, I'm only going to hold her responsible for October.
I did try to pay him the rent after we had talked about everything, and I have evidence here that I did try to send him partial payment, and he sent it right back to me because he wanted something in writing, but I wasn't agreeing to all the charges, so I wasn't going to sign something that I didn't agree to. But I did try to start to pay the rent back, and I told him I would have the rest of the rent when my taxes came in.
He's entitled to send it back because he's entitled to say, you know what, I'm tired of these partial payments. From now on, I want the full payment.
Okay.
Okay. Which brings us then to the idea that she's admittedly late with the payments. And she waits until, what, tax time or until...
February, yes.
Yeah.
February 1st, she tried to pay
And that is something that you, for the time she was in that apartment, when did it start?
March 1st of 2016.
So for 2.5 years, you were putting up with her paying late.
Correct, yes.
All right. Because once you've set the precedent that I'm going to accept your rent late, when the taxes come in, you pay me, I'm fine with it, she's entitled to believe that that's okay with you then, and you can't then suddenly come back and say, I'm going to fine you now. So the penalty part, I'm going to reject. You are entitled for the rent that is owed for the time she was there. Now let's get to the issue of the damages.
Okay.
You're saying certain things were damaged.
That's correct.
Now, for living there 2.5 years, there is what legally is referred to normal wear and tear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is it that you think is major that she owes damages for?
Upon her move out, she asked for a list of what she could take care of that might allow her to get some of her security deposit back. I emailed her this list. She did not sign it. She did not set foot in the condo to take care of any of those items.
That's wrong. I did have people come in and clean, and that's my witness. Her and the cleaning lady went in and cleaned. He wants me to pay for paint and nails and things that were there when I moved in because it wasn't clean when I moved in. The carpet was already coming up when I moved in. It wasn't cleaned. Place wasn't painted. Nothing was done.
Did you have a walkthrough prior to the time you moved in?
No.
There was
We
no
did not,
walkthrough?
because the issue was Miss Krebel and her husband and Miss Villanueva both were in a hurry to move. When the single-family property became available and I got the keys back and I let them know, I told them that it would take a few days to get the carpets done, to do what I needed to do, and they both said, no, don't worry about it. We will take the properties as is, and we would like to get the keys today.
Okay.
They took them as was.
Okay.
Because Miss Villanueva is Miss Krebel's sister-in-law, I did not assume that this was going to be a problem. Unfortunately, that is my mistake as a landlord that, I learned my lesson that even with family members, they're still trying
Okay, he's saying he offered to fix the place up.
No.
What are you saying?
My name is Tamitha Franklin.
Yes.
I lived in the condo. She was my sister-in-law.
Got it.
When we were to move, because I had a 3-year lease at the condo, and
Okay.
so I found somebody to take over my lease, and I moved.
Okay, the only question I'm interested in now, though, is the issue of why there wasn't a walkthrough so you could
Right.
see what you were saying as is to.
Right.
Because how do I know
Right,
who's
my-
responsible for the damage if he's saying you didn't bother to walk through because you were in a hurry? So now I don't know when this stuff got messed up.
The reason that there was not a walkthrough is because in order for this to work for him, I needed to pay rent on the new place, and she had to be able to pay rent on the old place at the same time.
How am I supposed to determine who caused some of the damage? Some of it you probably caused simply because you were there for 2.5 years. The carpet was a major concern, that it was
yes.
just...
It looks like she didn't vacuum once in the 2.5 years she lived there.
I'm not going to award money because the place is
He's
dirty.
wrong for that too because he knows we
I
actually
want
got
to
a
know if the
carpet
carpet
cleaner.
was ruined beyond
Your Honor, I
repair.
have several photos of the
Yeah, I'd like to
condo,
see
what
it.
they look like.
That was before we cleaned. That was before we
Okay,
cleaned.
this
We have
was
photos
before you
after.
cleaned.
Yes, sir.
I was standing there when he took those
Yes.
photos cleaning.
That was where the washer and dryer was, so all that was cleaned out.
It was not. New tenant came in there and had to get her own cleaning lady.
Obviously, if you take a picture of something that's dirty, it's going to look dirty.
Right.
But dirt can be cleaned up. What I'm looking at is property that is, in a sense, destroyed. I don't see, at least in the pictures you gave me, that the carpet is beyond repair. It needs to be shampooed.
Those are pet stains in the downstairs. She admitted her dog made stains and messes in the carpet. You can't get pet stains out of a carpet. My carpet cleaner, who I've used for over a decade, would not
Was
clean
she
that
allowed
carpeting.
to have a dog in the apartment?
She had a $500 deposit towards that, yes.
Dogs sometimes go.
But she's responsible for that damage. I even gave her the deposit back. She struggled with the rent so much that I gave her pet deposit back just to try and help her out.
I didn't even ask for my deposit back. He had
Why
to go-
didn't you pay the rent on time?
I couldn't afford it. And so that's when I said, you know what, I can't afford this. I did try up until that point, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
Okay, this is what I find. October's rent, $1,200. I'm not going to let you get a late fee for it because you established the precedent where she was always paying late and you accepted it. The November's rent, no, because that's on you. You told her to get out on the 1st, and a reasonable person, if told by the landlord, I got to be out on the 1st, is going to get out, and then it's going to be very difficult to go back to her and say, hey, I want the money for the time that I kicked you out. You're entitled to the October rent, which is $1,200. You're entitled to $500 for the pet to get the deposit back. So that makes $1,700. And you are entitled to $100 on the screen door, $100 for the damage to the windowsill, and another $100 for the padlock. You're holding on to a security deposit, which is $1,500.
For the carpeting, the painting, the backyard. I mean, I had to pay to haul her personal items out of there.
If someone moves out, you clean up the property afterwards. You've got
And
a
that comes out
security...
of her deposit.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you what my decision is. You get $2,000. Of the $2,000, you have a $1,500 security deposit that takes care of $1,500 of it. So I fine for the plaintiff in the sum of $500 in addition to you keeping the $1,500 security deposit. Hey YouTube, check out my new show, Judge Jerry. Now for sneak preview and behind the scenes footage, subscribe to my channel now.